Hello, my name is Matthew Peach. I am the editor-in-chief of optics.org, the news website for the photonics industry. I am continuing our series of webinars in the countdown to Photonex, the exhibition and conference taking place in Glasgow at the end of September. And I'm joined now by Nick Barnett, who is Business Development Manager at Pro-lite Technology, one of the exhibiting companies at Photonex, and Nick is also making a presentation at the event. So welcome, Nick. Perhaps we can start off with a little introduction from yourself about the company, what you do, and what you're hoping to achieve in Glasgow.
Hi Matt, thanks for the introduction. I'm Business Development Manager at Pro-lite Technology. We're a supplier of scientific equipment in the fields of photonics, and we split our business into three areas really. So that's photonics, light measurement, and spectroscopy. I head up the spectroscopy side of the business. So at Glasgow, there will be three of us business development managers from each of those areas on the stand, and we're basically we have partnerships with a number of companies from around the world in these different areas. So we'll be bringing some products along, hopefully meeting new people and doing some networking. I'm also doing a presentation. So my presentation's on hyperspectral imaging. The title is Spectral Imaging is Real-Time Ready for Prime Time. So my main area of interest at the moment is to see how spectral imaging is progressing and developing to allow us to have real-time video rates spectral imaging. So I'll be reviewing a few different technologies there, and just basically showing what state of play is in that technology.
Okay, that sounds great. Hyperspectral imaging is a topic that comes up time and again over recent years, with its diverse applications in everything from sort of agriculture to chemical industry sensing and other applications. So where is the Pro-lite Technology field of hyperspectral imaging? Are you going into all the different areas yourselves? I mean, what are some of the applications you're dealing with?
Yeah, it's a very broad application base. So we're dealing with customers from lots of different industries and academia. We're working a lot in agricultural measurements and remote sensing, vegetation studies, but also things like forensics or industrial process monitoring, recycled plastics, a lot in food security as well. So it's very diverse, which keeps it really interesting.
And you mentioned in your introduction to your talk that it's talking about real-time use of hyperspectral. I mean, what's that briefly, and why is that a new thing?
Traditionally, hyperspectral imaging has been based on push broom technique, which basically scans across a field of view and builds up an image, which is great. And there's a lot of applications where that's perfect. So if you have a sensor on a drone or on an aircraft or on a conveyor belt, that's fine. The image is moving and builds up in time. But there are a number of applications where actually it'd be really interesting to have a real-time video rate image where every pixel on the camera has the full spectrum behind it. So you can imagine in medical applications where you're maybe a brain surgeon imaging brain tissue during surgery and you want to distinguish between tumor tissue and normal tissue. It would be great to see all of that in real time so the surgeon can act in real time as well. And that sort of technology is becoming reality now, and so that's really where my talk will be based. It's looking at those sort of applications and trying to we'll talk about the limitations as well, because as we develop technologies and push them in certain directions, then quite often other parts of the specifications get degraded. So it's basically talking about the compromises that people need to make as well.
Okay, that sounds interesting. I will make sure I come along to see that when we're in Glasgow between the 28th and the 30th of September. On the other side of the coin, your company will also be exhibiting And I understand that Pro-lite Technology is a partner with a number of names from the photonics industry. So perhaps you can give us a quick introduction to some of the things people will see when they come along to meet you on the booth.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we partner with a number of, well, quite a large number of companies and covering the area of photonics and spectroscopy. So it's always difficult to decide what to bring to a booth like this, but we'll be bringing some new products along. I'll be taking a couple of hyperspectral imaging cameras, hopefully having them working on the stand. We'll have some products from LabSphere, which are uniform light sources and reflectance standards, because they're very useful for people who are working in imaging and in space applications as well. We'll have wavefront sensors from Imagine Optics. We'll have some acousto-optic devices from Gooch and Haskell, and a number of spectrometers from different suppliers. So from Avantis and from Wasatch Photonics, we'll have some Raman spectrometers, and also a field-based spectroradiometer from Spectral Evolution. So there's a lot to cram in on a stand. So we've probably got something for everyone.
Right. Okay. Out of all that list of some of the big names, if you like, from across the industry, are there any particular highlights that you think are remarkable because they're sort of new to the marketplace, or is it sort of reliable engines that are kind of constantly in demand from the marketplace that you'll be showing?
Yeah, I think it is a case of constant demand. I forgot to say we've also got some lasers on the stand as well. So there are a few new products. We're basically supplying customers from the whole range, from OEM components all the way to full systems. I basically focus on the spectroscopy side, so that's what I can talk more to really. I think it'd be interesting for people to see the state-of-the-art hyperspectral cameras as well, especially those where there's flexibility, where they can run as hyperspectral or multispectral, and they can be configured for different applications. So yeah, I think it'd be worth coming along.
Well, of course, the exhibition is hopefully going to have a good attendance, and from our earlier webinars with some of the other companies exhibiting, there's high expectation across the industry that Photonex will deliver some attendees and some good interactivity after the extended break from 2019, with last year's event having been cancelled due to the pandemic. So I guess, Nick, that you're looking forward to getting reacquainted with some industry contacts who you may not have seen in person for a long time.
Absolutely. We've been going to Photonics for many years, and we're looking forward to meeting people again and meeting new people. There's nothing like meeting people face to face and really having deeper discussions really about people's requirements and what they're trying to do. So we're looking forward to that. We're looking forward to making new connections and generally getting back to networking properly. The last 18 months or so have been good, but it's been hard work doing Zoom meetings, and they're not quite the same. Yeah, they were good to start with, but after a while you miss the real face-to-face meeting. So we're looking forward to it. Hopefully lots of people will come along, and yeah, it should be interesting.
Well, yes, and there should be another interesting dimension to the event this year. Since the last event in Coventry in 2019, there is new ownership of Photonex. It's now a exhibition within the SPIE group, and SPIE, the Society for Photonics Instrumentation Engineers, the international organization, which is also the publisher of optics.org, is now running this event, and we are hoping that will mean there will be a ranking up of the level of interactivity. There's a few other events co-located with Photonex and Vacuum Technologies this year, and I guess you're hoping there should be some constructive spillover from some of the other events nearby during the last week of September.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's really good that SPIE have taken on this Photonics show. I think it should bring more people along, and I think there's a great technical presentation section as well. So I'm looking forward to dipping into that as well, especially on the biophotonics and imaging side, and also the quantum technologies, which I'm sure that's going to be a very strong area of presentations as well, which I'm looking forward to learning more about that. So yeah, I think those technical presentations, the exhibition, and being run alongside the Space and Satellite Conference, there's lots of opportunities to learn and find out new things. So yeah, I should think it'll be really exciting.
Yeah, I guess we're all going to have a pretty busy time talking about our new developments or visiting the companies. So look forward to seeing you in Glasgow there from the 28th of September. And thanks very much for joining us today. There will be a few more talks in this webinar series. As I say, I'm Matthew Peach, editor of Optics.org, and thank you very much, Nick Barnett of Pro-lite Technology, for joining me today.
Thanks, Matt. Look forward to seeing you all.